This is my voice pre-testosterone.
This is my voice 3 months on testosterone. Hey guys, it's March 9th, 2016. I haven't updated you guys in almost a month, so let's get right into it. My 3-month update isn't going to be much to document, so I decided that I'm gonna group it with a Q&A. So once I get done with the changes, we'll head right into the questions that I asked you guys for on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, the link will be down below. So as you guys can probably notice, my voice is without a doubt dropped this month. I noticed that after my shot, my voice got very, very, very itchy, like almost as if I was getting strep throat. And then within a couple days, it disappeared, my voice dropped. I didn't even put that register together until recently, but I've noticed that that's happened every time my voice begins to get deeper. My shoulders definitely much broader than last month, because this shirt, it used to be too big to wear on the shoulders, and it would just look stupid. Like now it fits. The hair everywhere is just getting 10 times the max, and that's gonna keep on going. I mean, I'm getting hair on my butt, like that's a thing. I'm sorry if you didn't want to hear that, but you check these videos for a reason. My Adam's apple is definitely bigger. I can definitely feel that it's bigger. My neck, like, it's more like angular here where the Adam's apple is. Someone told me my face structure changed. I don't know if it is. Tell me if it has. I haven't noticed anything. I see myself every day, so if you do, let me know. But I definitely noticed I wear size 9.5, 10 in men's sneakers, and I've noticed that I'm starting to fill out more towards the front of my shoes, so that's a plus. And that's pretty much it. I mean, my hairline may have receded back a little bit, but I'm not really sure yet. It's still early in this hormone transition. So now that we're done with the update, let's get right into the questions. So here we go. So I really would like to thank you guys who asked the questions. I was definitely not expecting as many questions as there was on here. So thank you, I really appreciate it. Because if you guys didn't ask me a question, I wasn't gonna make a video. So the first question is, what has been the biggest struggle with transitioning? I would say the biggest struggle, although I try not to care what other people think, it was definitely going to school last year with my birth name and everything and appearing the way I am now. That was definitely the roughest part, because I would go home and feel the exact same way that I do right now, but yet other people were not acknowledging how I felt inside. And I would definitely say that this year, I don't know how I did it last year. So yeah, that would be the hardest thing thus far. What question do you get asked most often in regards to your transition? I thought about this question a lot. There's two really big questions that I often get is, do you think that you're gonna get the surgery? Let's clarify on that. The surgery, meaning like downstairs surgery, which most people don't realize, that's actually a very invasive question. How would you like it if I came up to you and asked you what was in your pants? You would be like, are you kidding? No, you don't ask that person. Just because I'm trans does not give you the right to ask me what is in my pants. I understand curiosity, but if you think about it, just because I'm transitioning does not give you the right to ask me a personal question like that. All the other questions that I've been asked, that's the only question that bothers me the most. Are you gonna get the surgery? And for your answer is, I don't know right now. I have no idea. Right now I'm trying to live in the moment and see where the future takes me. And the second question is definitely, why can't you wait until you're out of high school? Because I just can't do it any longer. I can't go to school. Do I look like, I don't know, asking all of you guys, when I say that prom is coming up, so if I say, oh yeah, I need to find my dress too, if my friends are talking about getting a dress, I'll say, yeah, I haven't found mine either. They start laughing. You really think that you want to see me in a dress? I was not able to put up with it. I couldn't go to school being socialized as a girl anymore. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't being myself. And so I decided to go through this. The next question is, what are the biggest changes you have noticed in yourself throughout your transition? These are like really in-depth questions. I would definitely say that throughout this transition, realizing who I really am, that I've tried not to pass judgment on others because the way that it would make me feel when I was not out. People were assuming that I was just a lesbian and that I didn't shave my legs was disgusting, but now I'm perfectly fine. People perfectly accept it. I would say that I was bullied. I wasn't really bullied, but rumors were spread more before I came out than right now. No one has a problem with me now, which I thank God there isn't. But I've learned to not judge people based on their appearance and base them for who they actually are. So, yeah, that would be the biggest difference. And I would definitely say I'm a better person because of this. And this one's a long question. It's a deep question. It says, how do you feel about Donald Trump? Do you think him being president will in some way harm the LGBT community, considering he has made a couple of homophobic statements? Or do you think those statements were/are just for show? So about politics in general, I grew up in a household where we believe in a candidate based on when they come out, not based on if you're a Democrat or Republican. I would definitely say our family definitely sides with the Democratic side, but I would say that Donald Trump running for president, I don't know much about politics, but from what I'm seeing, I kind of think of it like, do we realize Donald Trump is actually running for president? Like, are we thinking about this guy who used to say, you're fired, like he's actually gonna run for president? I just think that's crazy. But besides that, with the homophobic comments and stuff, I don't understand how this nation has come so far in the last decade, how a Republican candidate who says he doesn't support gay marriage, I just feel like that's not a candidate that needs to fit where our world is going. Donald Trump, I would say, is the least conservative out of all of the Republican candidates, but I definitely would like to say that I don't know much. I honestly don't know much. But if I were to be biased and I were to judge a Republican candidate and their conservative views, I would definitely say that I would not want Donald Trump as president, being that some of the views that I have are more liberal than conservative. That's just my typical. And also, Hillary Clinton was bringing up trans issues. Now, that's kind of like the hot topic now, which is understandable. I mean, 2015 was the year of all the, like, Caitlyn Jenner. That was big enough in its own for trans people to be acknowledged in the public eye. So she definitely brought that up, and that would be a big step in our community. That doesn't mean that I want Hillary Clinton for president because I'm only 16. I'm not gonna vote. I honestly don't know. I pay attention to politics, but not enough to the point where I would know. The next question is, are there some things you miss about being a girl? Now, when I got this question, I kind of laughed, and you know who asked this question. It kind of made me laugh because I was like, dang, I was once a girl. I was never once a girl mentally, but I would definitely say I was once a girl that was socialized as a girl, dressed as a girl, was identified as a girl by the public. So no, there's not one thing that I miss about being a girl. Not, if we went into stereotypes, I do not miss having to shave my legs, which I never did anyway, so that was one thing that I never did. Makeup, long hair, dresses, oh hell no. And also I talk with my hands, that's a typically feminine thing, but the fact that I just didn't fit in that box. So by me being myself, there's not one thing that I miss about being a girl. And when I verify that, people are like, oh yeah, you're doing the right thing, because there's not one thing that I can think of right now that I would ever think about going back to being a girl for. Next question. What would your 13-year-old self think of you now? Oh, all these questions are so good. I love them. I don't want to be dramatic, but I would definitely say, like, wow, it's actually gonna happen. Because when you're stuck in that mindset of, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. Nobody knows who I am. What am I gonna do? I can't even deal with myself, let alone telling other people. And even if they accept me, even if they do accept me, where is it gonna go from here? Am I even gonna get on hormones? Like, my mind was running 100 miles per hour, but yet everyone around me didn't know a thing. So the mindset of me as a 13-year-old was like, this is never gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen until after you're 18. And I would definitely say that my 13-year-old self would say, wow, you did it. Yeah, you got through it. Your parents support you. You came out publicly. You actually made a YouTube channel, because YouTube was my savior when I was 13 years old. Looking up all these videos, and I'm without a doubt, YouTube was my savior. I don't really use Tumblr. Tumblr has the biggest LGBT thing I heard on any social media, but YouTube is also another one, and I would say without a doubt, YouTube has definitely inspired me. And so, yeah, another question I get asked, this isn't on there, is why I started a YouTube channel. Well, coming out, easiest way that I think that so many people could see it, and the first video I posted has almost 1,200 views, I think. So without a doubt, that was the best idea that I could think of where a lot of people would be able to look at. And besides, I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. Like, what is not cool about having a YouTube channel? Like, come on. Okay, besides that, next question. Was everyone completely supportive throughout the process? So, this is going to be a little bit of an in-depth question. I would say that my parents, when I told my parents, they were both completely accepting, but it took my mom, was very, very, very angry for a very long time. She was constantly asking me why I can't just be gay, and I would constantly just explain to her that it's not about my sexuality, it's not who I want to love, it's about who I am inside. And that took almost a year and a half for my mom to even comprehend, and even when she did comprehend it, she didn't want me to go through this transition in high school, and neither did my dad. I mean, my dad, what kind of dad ever thought that bringing in their daughter to this world would ever turn out to be a boy on the inside? I just can't wrap my mind around that. And now, for you guys who also know that my dad did pass away in the beginning of October, I haven't really touched base on this because it's not something I really feel comfortable talking about at this point. But I would definitely say that my dad went way beyond what I could have ever expected. My dad went through the hardest time that I could have ever expected. My dad, he had a very, very hard time accepting the fact that I wanted to do this. He was nervous about what would happen to me in high school. He was nervous about me going into the restroom, what would happen. He was just worried about my safety, but he was also heartbroken that I wasn't realistically his daughter. And he later came around to that. Like, I'll tell you a really short story that on Valentine's Day last year, my mom and my dad and my sister, we went to therapy in the city where I would go for therapy because there's no place over here that really specializes in trans issues. So we would drive there, and we all sat in the room, and my mom was like, okay, I wasn't supposed to tell you this, but I got you a card that said son on it. And she was realistically speaking to my dad, and my dad was just like, oh. It was just like one punch after the other, and I could see it in his face. The next day, my dad was like a very, very last minute guy. So like, Christmas presents you bought on Christmas Eve. So he went out that morning and he bought me 4 cards that are in this drawer right now, and they all had son on it, and I just cried and he cried, and that's the last card, one of the last cards I'll ever get from my dad, and something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. But my dad and my mom have come such a long way that I could have never expected, and something that I greatly appreciate, and not a lot of people actually have. But I would like to do another video about the coming out process, about what my family has done, but also my aunts, my uncles, my aunt Donna, Stephanie, and Tommy, Michelle. If you know me personally, you know who they are because we talk about them so much. They're more like siblings to me than cousins. They have been, I can't even explain to you the support that they've given me. Without that support, I don't think I would be here today. I mean, Stephanie, you are one of my biggest supporters, and I love you for that, and same for you, Michelle. But the support that I've received from my family has definitely taken a while, but it's definitely something that you need to give time for people to accept. And in school, publicly, teachers, school, outside sources, without a doubt, came around like this. Obviously, pronoun slip-ups, but without a doubt, you guys have been my biggest supporters. Without that, well, obviously I need my family support first, but if I didn't get the support that I was getting at school, I think I would have had to transfer schools. And I could definitely say that if I didn't receive this support, I wouldn't be doing these videos at all. So yeah, I couldn't have received any more support that I've gotten thus far. Okay, next question. Sorry, that was a long one. It says, do you feel that you're happier now than you were before your change? No, I wasn't. I would definitely say that I was happier before I transitioned, you know? Because, you know, I was so happy that I wanted to. I'm just joking, I'm being an asshole. Okay, wait. I just cursed. Forget about that. I'm just being stupid. I would definitely say without a doubt, if you ask the people around me when I cut my hair, I didn't realize this, I was definitely happier, but my family, my dad even pointed this out. He was like, how happy you were, your smile. He said, I couldn't even believe that your smile could get any brighter than it was, and I was wrong. And I didn't think that it showed, but it definitely showed if you ask the people around me, and I could definitely say this is the happiest I've ever been with myself personally, and something that I hope to continue, because before then I didn't love myself. I'm beginning to love myself, and before then I didn't know that you needed to love yourself in order to love other people. So this journey isn't just for me, but it also affects the people around me, for the people that I love. I would definitely say that before even telling my parents, before even anything, I began to disconnect from my family, and the love that we had, well, the love that I had for them was getting weaker, but I could definitely say that it's definitely gotten tighter since this whole transition process. Next question. Do you feel physically different now that you're on testosterone? Not look-wise, but feeling-wise. Yeah. I feel more comfortable in my skin in general. I feel like, I definitely would say that the physical aspect of testosterone has to do with my mental state, because my voice getting deeper affects my mental health. It affects the way that I'm going to socialize with other people. It affects my confidence with other people, whether I'm going to speak loud or not. If you go back to my other videos before testosterone, it almost sounds like I'm whispering. I didn't realize it, but now that I've noticed that I'm able to speak louder and more confidently, and something that people have been pointing out. What are some other things? Something that I feel. Is there anything else? Just more confidence in general, that's what I would say. Next question. What made you pick the name Landon, and did you change your middle name as well? Okay, this is, I swear, all these questions, I can make a full video on each question. How did I pick the name Landon? So, if you guys aren't trans, I think a majority of the people who watch these videos are not trans people. I mean, I would love it if the trans community come and watch my videos. Like, that'd be awesome. But a majority of the people that watch these videos are people that I know personally. But you guys are, anyone's welcome to watch these videos. That's why they're on YouTube. What was the question again? Okay, why did I choose the name Landon? So, my birth name started with an L. And I remember saying when I was younger, I like my name because it doesn't sound feminine. My sister even told me that story, saying, yeah, I remember you saying that. But besides that, when someone transitions, the stereotype is that they're going to stick with the name that sounds most similar to the name they had before. The reason is, you know how hard it is to pick a name for yourself that's actually going to register? It's very difficult. A lot of people call me Logan. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm Irish. Apparently people say that because the name Logan is Irish. I don't know. It's funny because some of the teachers in school will be, yeah, Logan. And I'm like, no, it's not Logan, but hey, it's not the other name, so that's a positive. So the way that I did it was, I was looking for names. It just narrowed the list a lot by going by the letter that was for my first initial. So I would type in baby boy names starting with L. So then a whole list pops up, and I was like, okay, I liked the three names that I liked was Logan, Luke, yeah, Logan, Luke, and Landon. But Landon didn't come until later in time. Luke was like a set name for me for a while, and I was like, wait, that doesn't even click. Logan, too many Logans in our school. And Landon, there's not one Landon in our school, so that was settled. There's not one Landon in our school that I know about. Hopefully, if you're a Landon and you're watching this school and you go to my school, I'm sorry, this name is taken. No, I'm just joking. But that was a big part of it. I didn't want to go back to school with a name and be like, ew, they have the same name as me. I don't know, that just went through my head. And also I wanted it to be different. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on that name. Every time I say my name, they're like, wow, that's a nice name. I'm like, well, thank you. I picked it, you know. And yes, my middle name is changed. My middle name also starts with the first initial that I had previously. It's Andrew, which is my dad's middle name. And something I just realized is my name has the letters Don. My dad's name is Donald and Landon. I'd never put that together. So realistically, my dad's name is within my name. And that's something that is something that I'll never forget. And something that I hold very close to me. The last question says, are you scared or worried for the future? College, marriage, etc. And even more random, do you want kids and how many? So, that was a lot in the question. Yes, I think everybody's worried for college, but this is definitely guided towards the transition process. I've looked into the transition thing, but there are a lot of schools. I'm not going to go to a college that isn't going to accept me, who doesn't have a wide range of a big LGBT community. And I'm also looking into majoring into LGBT studies and psychology and stuff like that. I want to be an activist, in case you don't know that. But, yes, I'm definitely scared. I'm definitely scared what other people, how it's scary for everyone. You're leaving something that you've known for so long, and you're going to a new place where everyone's uncomfortable. So if everyone's uncomfortable, it can't be that bad. Marriage, I'm not scared for marriage myself. I know that I'm a teenager. I have hormones, I have running hormones. Everyone wants to, not everyone, but a lot of people want to have a future with someone who they have mutual feelings for, not mutual feelings, sexual feelings, I guess. That's not, I don't know. Don't take it the wrong way, you know what I mean. But like marriage in general, of course, I want to get married. But when that day comes, it comes. I've never been in a relationship, probably won't in high school. It's gonna take a while in order for somebody to accept me and my transition and be able to love me for who I am. So I'm willing to wait for that time to come, even though it's very difficult when everyone around you is dating. So I just have to be patient and find the one that comes along. And about kids, I don't know about kids, but let's go even more in depth about kids. People ask me, so like, are you gonna have kids naturally? And I'm like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Me? Haha, that's funny. No, I would never have kids naturally. Obviously I wouldn't be able to have kids naturally as of right now. Testosterone can also cause infertility. I didn't mention that in the last video, so that was a risk that we had to sign off on when I started hormone replacement therapy. But I would definitely say that I want kids, maybe. As of right now, I would imagine as I get older, the stronger the feelings will get. It doesn't really matter to me, the biological sense. Of course, I would like to be biologically related to my children, who wouldn't, but I don't think that will stop me from loving them any less. And there was another question, somebody asked me in school about, is testosterone expensive? I wouldn't say it's expensive, but it's definitely not cheap. I could get it covered by insurance. It's not covered by insurance right now. But that one little vial, if you've seen the little vial that I have in my videos, that little vial itself could cost up to anywhere from $10 to $30. So a 3-month supply costs 3 months with 3 little bottles, so that cost me around $60 with the syringes. So if you think of it, it would last me a while, and it's definitely worth the price. So it's not as expensive as everyone thinks. Like the stereotype or the secret, the rumor is, in order to transition, you have to have a lot of money, and that's not the case. It's not the case at all. There's actually one more question. When was the first you knew you wanted to transition? Okay, this is the final question. I realized I wanted to transition the end of 8th grade into summer. I remember writing a letter when I was around 12, before I went through puberty, 11, 12, telling my mom that I wanted to be a boy, but quickly erased it, realizing how big of a thing that was. I kept on telling my mom to go read it, go upstairs, go read it, and she never went upstairs, and thank God she didn't, because she would have read that and I don't know what would have happened. I wasn't that sure of my identity yet, but all I knew that is I didn't want to go through female puberty. I didn't want to be a girl when I got older. But without a doubt, when I wanted to transition, when I realized the fact that I need to transition in order to be happy, to feel confident, to be who I was the end of 8th grade going into 9th. That definitely was the time that I wanted to transition, and it's actually happening now, which is so hard to believe. Those are all of the questions. I hope that these answers were clear, and I hope that you like this setup. You're like sitting on my TV on like a bendable tripod. So if you like this setup, let me know. I'm sorry that there's like a glare. There's like a LED screen, so like it's gonna reflect off my glasses. But other than that, I hope that you like this video. I'm almost at 75 subscribers, so if it's at 74, click that button to make it 75, because I know who the subscribers are, and except if you're on private. But still, make it to 75. Make it 75 for me. I'll give you a big high five. I'm just joking. Okay, if you want one, I'll give you one. But besides that, I want to hit 100 subscribers so bad. So, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, leave a comment. Please leave a comment. I love it when people leave comments. So, thank you. Yep, that's it. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.